Hey there everybody, Code Pika here. Welcome back to more Kingdom Hearts 2. In the last episode, we managed to defeat the last few of the organizations, try to end up doing the rest of the 13 mushrooms, but unfortunately we couldn't do it because of the fact we kind of lack just one thing. We kind of lack at least a powerful Keyblade. There is a way to do it before you end up, reaching to the end, but we could go ahead and save that mushroom for last. I did end up looking up a guide. There are like plenty of guys that kind of do tell you how you're supposed to end up doing that mushroom, and it's basically two things. One, it's either having a second finishing plus, which we won't be getting until like the very last few final levels, and two, the other method is having a very powerful Keyblade. So, we won't be able to do it. But anyways, let's actually go ahead and tackle the Stronghold of Organization 13.
Kairi, where are you?
Shh! Remember where we are. This is their stronghold.
Wait! Your Majesty!
Be careful. I think we got company.
Namine. There you are.
Namine?
Kairi, I'm afraid leaving is not an option. I'll take you to see Sora. You don't want that?
I do. More than anything. But not with you around.
If I had a heart, this would be where I'd die of laughter. You. Didn't Roxas take care of you?
You can take it from here, Riku.
Riku? Wait! Riku, you're really here?
Anyway, that's a damn shame when you end up thinking that it's Riku, but it's actually Ansem. Ha! But anyways, now that we made it to the Stronghold of Organization 13, we are now going to be introduced to new nobodies. This is known as the Sorcerers nobodies. These are the leader I really hate these these nobodies. Also, I remember like in the last episode, I was calling like the mushrooms nobodies. They're not nobodies. They're clearly freaking heartless, and I'm stupid. So real fast, Sorcerers, they are immune to, I think they're immune to magic, so don't even bother trying to use your magic attacks against them. Using Reflect is pretty good. Actually, yep, they are immune to magic completely, exactly as I figured, because that's just how they roll. I mean, how they are essentially the leader of Organization 13's nobodies, because we've already seen Berserkers, who are Syaxes, and we've already seen Snipers, which are Xigbars. So yeah, the Sorcerers are Xemnas' nobodies, and they are literally the worst. Because not only they don't really physically attack you, they kind of just have like a bunch of attacks that just, wail about and just whack you in the face until you die sort of scenario. But other than that, they're not hard to beat. You can end up essentially casting like Reflect to be able to stop them, or Magnet to be able to grab them. That is not what I want to do. Wow, I haven't recorded in like forever, so bear with me here. Also, obviously at the time of this, I end up having myself a much better computer now, so I'm kind of getting used to it. It's a bit weird to be able to see that the game is also running, the recording of the game is running at the same time, because when it used to end up recording, it used to be like behind a bit. Not like very much behind, like it was a problem. It was more so just weird that it was doing that to begin with, but now it's not anymore. So I'm actually really happy. I'm really happy about the things that I managed to be able to do by saving throughout this year. Seriously, this year has been a bummer, but I'm glad that things are starting to slightly look up now. I won't mention why, it's just slightly looking up. Also notice I have myself an extra accessory, and yes, the Fatal Crest Keyblade I'm thinking of is actually in the Hades Cup, well, in the Paradox Cup, which is the new cup that is introduced later down the road. But we won't be able to unlock that until after we have fought the final boss at least once. I'll go into further detail with that. There is a general reason as to why you have to, because he does have a Mushroom 13, but unfortunately we do not have the capabilities of getting that Mushroom 13 until after we've done the first fight. Alright, so we end up healing here because we have ourselves a boss fight. But first, let's go into the synthesis shop and hand over all our synthesis items. Got ourselves an AP boost, a magic boost, a Serenity Gem, and a Serenity Crystal. Now we can end up purchasing Twilight Shards, which is actually really good because it actually ends up managing to give us more ability options. Handed over all of our recipes, and you guys are still at a very weak level because I have not been making anything from you guys. But we can make the petite earring, wow, the petite ribbon, which obviously needs an orichalcum, a dense stone, and a dense shard and mithril crystal. So let me see, I will do this. Actually only drops the mithril crystal down to 2. And we can put both, so let's synthesize it, and we got a slightly increased all resistance and extremely increased defense. Now they are level C. Whoopee. Thank God. But if we end up going back to the petite earring, we can go ahead and put a Serenity, and it becomes the full-on ribbon, which is really, really good, and it increases all resistance and extremely increases defense. Really good stuff. Alright, so let's go back, because I noticed that I can make, obviously you can tell, orichalcum needs 13 orichalcum pluses. This is false. You don't really need, there's only 7 orichalcums in the game, but there's a joke behind it. Well, actually, funny enough, there's a reference behind it with the 13, and there's also a reference behind how many orichalcums in it. I'll obviously go into detail once we actually get to it, unless I already did. I'm not really listening to myself whenever I speak. I kind of should. Anyways, Frozen Pride, Vexen's shield. We can actually make it now. End up going using that, and boom. But that's not the only thing you can do. You can actually end up making a stronger variant if you put the Serenity Crystal, Frozen Pride Plus, which ends up making it look kind of blackish. I do like the color of this. Increases MP restoration speed by 75% after MP is fully consumed. I'm not sure if that's even worth it for Goofy, to be honest. Now, you think that if you put a Serenity Crystal, it becomes Frozen Pride Plus Plus. It's like, no, it actually doesn't. It stays the same. Don't bother wasting your, don't waste your time. It's not good. There are only a limited amount of lost illusions and also a limited amount. Well, I shouldn't say there's a limited. You can grind for them, but I kind of don't really recommend doing it because it does take a bit forever to be able to actually, grind for these kind of items. It's a bit on the weird side, if I'm being honest with you. My God, I really have just been using nothing but friggin' potions at this point. I really need to stop. Let me see. Are we fully prepared to be able to fight the next boss? Probably not. I might lose this fight. I might not. It really all depends on how things play out when it comes to this. All I know is that there is a quick strat that you can be able to defeat him, and if you kind of want to even know how to do that, speedrunners are a dime a dozen. They kind of end up showcasing more so of how they can, you know, dish out more damage, because this boss fight you can end fairly quickly if you end up utilizing Donald's limit. Donald's limit is usually the one that will basically be the one to finish the fight off. Unfortunately, the shield for Goofy is not good. I don't know the benefit of having Goofy have MP Hestiga on. Unless, you know, he doesn't really have supportive abilities at this point. Like, he doesn't, unless you want, yeah, like, there's really nothing that gives him the capabilities of warranting stuff. I mean, yeah, he'll probably be able to use these moves a lot more often, but 90% of the time, the characters are kind of completely useless once they can't use their abilities. They're literally like glorified Final Fantasy XIV MMO characters. Like, I'm not even joking.
Sora, you've done well.
Where's Kairi?
Who knows? I expect she's catching up with her friend from the darkness.
What do you mean?
She doesn't need you anymore.
I'm supposed to believe that?
Well, you don't have to. But you can believe this. Organization 13 has no further use for you. Just look there. Our Kingdom Hearts. Thanks to you, we've collected countless hearts. Can you hear their euphoria? Now all they need is one more helping from the Keyblade Bearer.
We gotta fight!
But Kingdom Hearts!
Sora! Sora, it's really you!
Kairi!
Huh? You leave Sora alone! Sora!
Take it.
This time, I'll fight. You know Sora's completely hopeless without us. Come on, Riku.
Well, well. Will the intrusions never end?
Why, Pete, this castle is perfect. Perhaps we should acquire it.
Well, the setup is kinda nice, I guess. But what about all the Heartless? All this in-between world, it's way too close to the darkness. They ain't gonna listen to us here.
Once again, you underestimate me.
It's been too long, my friend.
Ansem the Wise, why didn't you come to me before things got so bad?
Xemnas, the Organization Superior, is the nobody of Xehanort, my foremost apprentice. The burden was mine to bear.
Is that all?
I won't deny there was more. I was obsessed with thoughts of revenge. My apprentices stole everything precious to me. My research and my pride.
I can't help you with revenge.
I know. Riku's told me 1,000 times.
Where is he?
He must be with his friends by now. Riku was a great help to me. I found him wandering the darkness after you and he lost track of each other.
Gosh, we didn't lose each other exactly. Riku left, well, because Xehanort's Heartless was still inside his heart, troubling him. And he sure must have been suffering. But what I don't understand is why he looks like that now, when he's still Riku at heart.
I am to blame. When I met Riku the first time, he still had the appearance of a boy. Probably because he had such a strong heart. I asked him to find a young man named Roxas from Organization 13 and bring him to me. When I told him it would help Sora awaken from his slumber, Riku left without a word. He fought Roxas, and I can only surmise Riku lost that fight. Riku must have realized then, to fight in the realm of darkness, he would have to immerse himself in that same darkness. And when he did, you saw what became of him. When Riku brought Roxas back to me, he was introducing himself as handsome. If that was what it took to awaken his friend, he was ready to live in darkness. Riku was the victim of my revenge. Oh, how my heart ached. I could only laugh to hide my shame.
I guess it must have been after that when I saw Riku again. He said he wanted to help Sora, but he made me promise. Promise that Sora wouldn't ever find out about what happened to him while he was out in the darkness.
My friend, the time has come. I must make amends to these young people.
Get off! What's going on?
Have you been a good boy?
Show yourself!
Oh, it sounds like you haven't. Sora! Roxas!
Roxas? Hey, did he just call me Roxas?
You've really put Organization 13 in a pickle. I guess that must be why the Keyblade chose you. But man, did it pick a dud this time. You don't look like you're half the hero the others were.
Are you done rambling?
Rambling? As if. All I'm trying to tell you, traitor, is that your time is up.
Here he comes!
You really shouldn't have betrayed us.
Now, for those who have actually never played, or I should say, for those who have played Kingdom Hearts 2 for the first time, might have been wondering, what does he mean by the others? Well, that line made no sense when you first played Kingdom Hearts 2 when it was first released, but now it makes sense now. What he means is that he is talking about, yes, he's talking about Ventus, Aqua, and Terra from Birth by Sleep. Because we already know that we have fought Xigbar in KH Birth by Sleep. Well, I should more so say Terra did. And so did Aqua. Aqua did as well. I should also mention that. So anyways, strategy tips. For the way how Xigbar works is that he will keep constantly shooting at you. If you end up blocking him a couple of times, you can go ahead and end up causing him to drop his guard. Other than that, though, he's fairly an easy fight to be able to face. Your whole shtick, though, is that you are going to be utilizing Reflect a lot, even though I'm not really utilizing very well, as you can see. But you know, I'm trying my best here. Can't really end up talking when we end up doing most of these fights again. It is going to be a very unfortunate thing where we end up you know, having to deal with it again. This is his DM. I like to call it barrage shots, where he will end up going out the outer arena, and then after that, once he ends up basically doing flurries. This is a lot easier to dodge, as I'm showcasing with my amazingness right now. Seriously, it's trust me, it's pretty amazing. All right, cool. All right, well. And he's dead. Overall, though, not really a bad fight. A little bit of sloppy performance, though.
Why did you call me Roxas?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Hey, hold on!
Sora, it's tiny.
Uh-oh, they need our help.
Sora and Rico are together. We have no part to play here.
Gee, I wonder if Riku will ever change back.
Rico chose that form so he could use the power of darkness. It won't be easy.
Kyrie, we're on our way.
Why did I call you Roxas? Mainly because of the fact that, oh right, I forgot to read 2 reports. Why did I call you Roxas? And then end up immediately using the form that we obtained by beating Roxas. Yeah, that makes sense. Also, you notice I've been barely utilizing Cure. Like I said, Cure, I feel, is not as worth unless you're probably, unless you don't have any items anymore. Considering the items are a bit busted, I kind of prefer just to use the items anyways. Okay, so I should probably end up reading those 2 reports, because I remember I did miss 1 report once we finished off Roxas. So, also, all nobodies are completed. We got every single one of them. And also, you get Twilight Thorn once you end up coming back to the simulator Twilight Town. I don't know, it makes no sense as to why the information of him shows up, but anyways, a giant nobody who Roxas fought at the Station of Awakening. Although it had tried to capture Roxas with its thorns, it was overpowered and defeated by the strength of the Keyblade Master. Anywho, I guess we should read the others. Sorcerers. A sorcerer is a high-ranking nobody, immune to magic and attacks with invulnerable cubes. Watch out for the cubes while attacking the main body. The cubes disappear when the body is defeated. Yes, they do. Gamblers. A gambler and a high-ranking nobody. It doesn't seem to like fighting, and it just floats around aimlessly. Use the reaction command when it attacks with cards, dice, and let the game begin. Don't lose for something terrible happens. Win for a chance to attack, and maybe even for a little something extra. In all honesty, we'll end up seeing what happens, because there's a boss fight that actually does end up showcasing what happens if you do screw up. Sniper is a high-ranking nobody. Is very agile as it moves around, defying gravity. Use magic to stop this movement for an easier battle. Basically, use magnet. It attacks using arrow of light. Arrows of light. Ward them off with warp snipe. Use this in succession for victory. Assassins. High-ranking nobody. It hides in the ground and attacks quietly from behind. It cannot be attacked while it is in the ground. Parry its attacks to get it to the surface. When it starts running around, look out. It will begin to unleash powerful attacks. Don't miss any chance to use the reaction command to defeat as many as possible at once. Which is kind of easier said than done, because trying to showcase that is a bit annoying. A Dragoon, a high-ranking nobody. When a ball of light appears after parrying its attack, use learn time to accurately to use jump to attacks. Time it accurately. accurately. Okay, whatever. Learn can be used as often as possible, so a series of jump attacks in one strategy is a one strategy option. I mean, that's kind of how you defeat Xaldin like 90% of the time anyways. Answer reports. We got 2 of them. We got 3 and 8. Chaos affects not only this world, but many other worlds besides. In the answer reports, my apprentice Xehanort had written under my name, I found the records of this hideous experiments along with his hypothesis about the door that had appeared out of the darkness in my basement. All living things have hearts, and all hearts hold darkness deep within. Worlds are no exception. If a world is being, the heart it holds must be colossal. And the darkness at its core must be monstrous indeed. Did Xehanort pass through that door in the attempts to contact that dark realm? No, not only Xehanort. It appears my other 5 apprentices, believing it was for the sake of research, started deep into the darkness and were pulled into it. Evan, Ienzo, Braig, Dylan, and Alias. They have ceased to be human. I too have had everything taken away from me, vanishing to a hollow realm of nothingness. What is Xehanort hoping to gain with my pilfered existence? Will my people cease to smile? If the light of hope has been extinguished, I shall henceforth walk with darkness as a friend. Here in the realm of nothingness, to which I have relegated, darkness is the midness of nothing, darkness in zero. Thus I shall be known as Diz. Oh, so that's what Diz means. Oh, honestly, I actually forgot that that's actually what Diz means. Discarding the stolen name Ansem and going in search of revenge. Ah, I forgot that the Diz was more so of an anagram of darkness and zero. But funny enough, Evan, Ienzo, Braig, Dylan, and Alias. Dylan being, I think it's Xaldin. Alias, I think, is, Luxius. Braig, obviously Xigbar. Ienzo being is actually Zexian, which is, you know, you wouldn't really see that just from his name alone. And Evan is Vexen. So yeah, these are their original names. Of course, we already know Braig, Ienzo, and Evan. We did hear Dylan and Alias's name before, but not to that degree. And let's read the final report here. It appears that I have been too distracted by the behavior of Xehanort and his cohorts, and by the events occurring in their vicinity. My friend's struggle to protect the realm of light from the threat of Heartless is now over. With Xehanort's Heartless going by the name Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, defeated at last, the other wielder of the Keyblade, this hero, traveled from world to world, sealing up keyholes and laying Heartless low. Meanwhile, the king, who had dived into the realm of darkness, worked with the Keyblade-wielding hero to close the door to Kingdom Hearts from the realms of both darkness and light, thus holding off the threat of tremendous darkness. But there are still a great number of Heartless afoot. Organization 13 and the Nobodies continue to be active in the shadows. Indeed, the world is still a very dangerous place. We must find a way to do battle with these enemies. Thus, I will both make amends and have my revenge. It is for the reason that I infiltrated Castle Oblivion. It consists of 13 floors above and 12 floors below ground with the contents of its white rooms, transforming in response to its visitors' memories. Organization 13 was conducting experiments on memory here. The subject in these experiments, a girl named Naminé, appeared to possess extremely unusual abilities. Were they attempting to derive something from these powers? Refusing to be distracted by Organization 13, I had returned to my own secret research when a new visitor appeared at the castle today. It was Sora, the Keyblade-wielding hero who had defeated Ansem and his companions. Deep underground, the stench of darkness arose. All the players are coming together, it would seem. Yeah, so this actually was kind of like trying to do a lot of stuff. In fact, he utilizes both Sora and Riku for his revenge, and it's kind of disgusting, really. But what are you gonna do? Anyways, that is the end of this episode of Kingdom Hearts 2. In the next episode, we're actually going to be meeting up with Riku and Kairi, finally. And, yeah, we're going to be learning some bit of history here. Well, not really history. We're going to be learning some stuff. Anyways, I'll catch you guys next time in the next episode. Laters!